If you've ever been rejected, it wasn't because you lacked looks, money, or status. The real reason is that you broke one of the 7 invisible rules that make women feel either attracted or uninterested within seconds. Yes, there are female weaknesses that few men know about, and if you learn to use them to your advantage, you'll never be ignored again. Weakness number 4 is the silent mistake that makes many men seem too good to date. Weakness number 1, women are emotional and react to feelings. Many people think that winning a woman over is just about having good looks, money, or status. But the truth is very different. Women are driven by emotions. No matter how amazing you look, on paper, if you don't know how to trigger the right feelings, you'll just be another guy in the crowd. Think about this. On one side, there's a successful man with an expensive car and a beautiful house, but his conversations are dull and lifeless. On the other side, there's a guy who makes her laugh, surprises her, and provokes intense emotions. Who do you think will leave a stronger impression? Exactly, the second one. Because he's not just there, he makes her feel something special. That's why so many women end up falling for men who at first glance seem average. They might say they want a stable and successful guy, but at the end of the day, they choose the one who makes their heart race. So, if you want to stand out and avoid rejection, stop trying to impress with your resume. Impress with the emotional experience you create. Now, think about your last conversations with women. Did you actually spark emotions? Or were you just trying to be a nice guy? If your interactions were predictable and low energy, that's your problem. Women don't want a checklist of good qualities, they want a memorable experience. The key to becoming irresistible? Understanding that female attraction isn't rational, it's emotional. Weakness number 2. Women are extremely attracted to men who know how to lead. Women are naturally drawn to men who know what they want. And no, that doesn't mean being bossy or controlling, but having the clarity and confidence to make decisions. A guy who hesitates too much or always shifts responsibility onto her might seem sweet and polite, but in reality, he's giving off insecurity, and that weakens attraction without her even realizing it. Think about a date. If the guy says, "What do you want to do?" or "We can go anywhere, you choose," he's putting the entire burden of the decision on her. And trust me, that's not attractive. Now, imagine if he says, "There's this amazing restaurant I want to take you to tomorrow at 7. Much more appealing, right? He takes the initiative, makes things easier, and projects confidence, something most women love, and this applies beyond dating. Whether at work, in a conversation, or in a relationship, a man who makes decisions naturally and without constantly seeking approval will always be more respected. This attitude exudes confidence, which is essential for a woman to feel connected and engaged. Now tell me, are you the type who takes the lead? Or do you always wait for her to decide everything? If you've ever noticed her losing interest for no clear reason, it might be because you lacked clarity and initiative. Start practicing small decisions in your daily life and see how it changes the way women perceive you. Weakness number 3, they love the feeling of mystery and challenge. Women lose interest when they feel like they've figured a man out completely. The biggest mistake guys make? Being too predictable. If you reveal everything right away, reply to her, messages instantly, and are always available, where's the mystery? Without that sense of curiosity, attraction fades because there's nothing left for her to discover. Think about a movie that reveals the ending in the first few minutes. Boring, right? But when the story has twists and keeps you intrigued, you can't stop watching. Seduction works the same way. If you don't create that tension, that what's next feeling, she'll see you as a book she's already read, and her interest will vanish. This doesn't mean you should ignore her or play hard to get on purpose. It just means leaving space for her to invest emotionally, taking a little longer to reply to messages, not sharing everything about your life right away, and having a busy routine that doesn't revolve around her are natural ways to create this challenge. When a woman feels there's still more to discover about you, she wants to go deeper. Now, think about your last interactions. Have you been too predictable, or do you keep a certain air of mystery? If women seem to lose interest quickly, it could be because the interaction lacks any challenge. The secret is to balance closeness and unpredictability, creating an experience that keeps her curious and engaged. Weakness. Number 4, male validation. Is like a drug to them, women love earning the attention of a man they truly admire. But here's a important detail. If you give them that validation for free, without making them work for it, they stop valuing it. Many men make the mistake of overdoing compliments, showing constant interest, or trying too hard to please, thinking it makes them more attractive. In reality, it does the opposite. Think about something you worked hard to achieve. Maybe a car you saved up for, or a tough goal you finally reached. Now compare that to something you got effortlessly. Which one feels more valuable to you? Exactly. The easier something is to obtain, the less we value it. And relationships work the same way. This doesn't mean you should be cold or indifferent. The key is balance. Instead of showering her with compliments all the time, choose the right moments to do it. Instead of replying to her messages instantly, go about your day and respond when it fits naturally. Small changes like these make her realize that your attention isn't available all the time, and that makes you much more interesting. Now, ask yourself, have you been giving too much validation without her doing anything to earn it? If so, try changing your approach. Make her put in effort for the relationship too, and you'll see a shift in her behavior. Women value men far more when they don't hand everything over on a silver platter. Weakness. Number 5, their fear of rejection is greater than yours. Many men think they're the only ones who fear rejection. But guess what? Women feel the same way. They're just better at hiding it. That's exactly why most of them avoid making the first move. They don't want to risk hearing a no. Now, here's the most important detail. When a man shows that he isn't afraid of rejection, he instantly stands out. This sends a strong message. He doesn't need her approval to feel good about himself. Think about the difference between two guys. The first one approaches a woman with confidence, completely unfazed by the possibility that she might not be interested. The second one hesitates, waiting for an obvious sign that she wants to talk before making a move. Which one seems more attractive? Exactly. The guy who acts without fear projects an irresistible sense of security. Meanwhile, the other comes across as uncertain and insecure, killing any chance before it even begins. And you know what makes this even more interesting? Women test men to see if their confidence is real. Sometimes she might take a while to reply to a message, make a teasing remark, or act a bit distant at times. If the guy reacts by desperately trying to prove his worth, he loses points. But if he simply keeps his composure, unaffected, that actually increases her respect and attraction for him. Now think about it. How many times have you hesitated before making a move out of fear of rejection? If this happens often, maybe it's time to change your mindset. Rejection is part of the game, and the less you care about it, the more attractive you become. Women notice when a man carries himself with this attitude, and ironically, they feel way more drawn to him because of it. Weakness. Number 6. They feel a natural attraction to men with purpose. You know what really makes a man stand out? Having a purpose. When a guy has a clear mission, whether in his career, a hobby, or personal growth, he gives off a completely different energy. He doesn't need validation from anyone because he's already driven by something bigger, and women immediately pick up on this. Now, compare two types of men. One has ambitions, is always learning something new, and is actively growing in life. The other has no direction, just passes the time without any real goals. Which one do you think has a more magnetic presence? The first one, no doubt. When a man is focused on his own path, he naturally becomes more interesting and respected. The second one, no matter how hard he tries to impress, seems lost, and that kills attraction. This doesn't mean you need to be a millionaire or have an extraordinary career. What matters is having something that drives you, something that genuinely excites you. When your life doesn't revolve around a woman, but instead around a greater purpose, she feels like she has to put in effort to be part of your journey. And this balance between your personal focus and your relationships is what keeps attraction alive. So take a look at your life right now. Do you have a clear purpose, or are you just letting time pass you by? If you haven't found something that motivates you yet, start now. Men who know where they're going don't have to chase attention. They naturally attract people who want to be part of their journey, and women definitely notice the difference. Before we move on to the next weakness, I have an important message for you. Imagine having the guarantee that your next attempts at winning over the woman you desire will be successful. Sounds too good to be true? It's not. There's a method that eliminates doubts and delivers real results. No matter who you are, this works for any man willing to learn. Now is the time to take action and stop wasting time on approaches that don't work. The secret to attraction is just one click away. Check out the pinned comment and see how this proven method can change everything for you. Weakness number 7, they will always want the man that other women want. Female desire is highly influenced by social context. When a woman sees that others are interested in a man, it triggers her competitive instinct. In the female subconscious, a man who is validated by other women automatically becomes more attractive. After all, if he has options, it must mean he has desirable qualities, and that makes her see him in a completely different light. Now, compare two types of men. One is always surrounded by interesting people, including women. The other seems isolated with no active social life. The first one sparks curiosity and intrigue because his value has already been tested and approved. The second, on the other hand, has to work much harder to prove he's worth it. This happens in every environment, whether at work, in social circles, or in relationships. But be careful. This doesn't mean you should fake situations just to make her jealous. What really works is simply living your life naturally, surrounding yourself with great company, and showing that your attention isn't desperately fixated on just one woman. When you carry yourself this way, something shifts in her perception of you. Suddenly, you're not just another option. You become the prize, someone she wants to win over. Now think about it. Are you presenting yourself as a valued man, or are you always available, waiting for attention? If you want to boost your attractiveness, focus on building an interesting social circle and becoming someone who naturally draws people in. This completely changes how women see you. If this content made sense to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And while you're at it, check out the next video popping up on your screen right now. It has another essential tip to help you become an even more confident and irresistible man. See you there!